Yeah, a couple of guessed it right off the top. What we're doing with that bottle jack. And what I have is a hydraulic press that, well, two things. First, the bottle was no good that was on it. A little Harbor Freight jobber. And instructions, you can throw those away. It was converted over to something else. So let me, let's just prop you right here. How's that? I'll get that sucker out of the box. Cut into it. So this was on, I'm sure it was eBay or Amazon. I want to say probably say eBay. It was I think 56 bucks delivered, free shipping. And what this is basically it's a hydraulic bottle jack with an air assist cylinder next to it. So you plug air into that guy and you pull the trigger, and it pneumatically goes up and down by the assistance of that. Plus, you can still pump it by hand yet, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So what that is for is, I'm gonna back up a little bit. A friend of mine last week called me and said I have a hydraulic press I do not use, and I would like to get it out of here. So he gave me this big red one that you see here. And I said, awesome, you know, much better than the quality of the one that I have. And the one that I have is behind it. And let me do some rearranging and dig that out of the hole, and we'll take a look at what we have over there. So again, this is the one that my friend gave me, which is a decent one. I think it's like a made in USA type of deal. And this one was a Harbor Freight press that I purchased probably, I want to say 15 years ago. It was like $89 delivered. The only problem that I had with it ever since I've had it was the hydraulic cylinder leaks around the seal or the pump. I forget where it was, but it has always leaked, and you can see it pissing all over the top of it. So I kind of wanted to replace that cylinder anyway. And you know, now's our opportunity with the new one that's there. And the other thing with this is I had gone to the scrapyard and I found some die pieces for a brake, and brake is what bends sheet metal, and that's what you kind of see here. You can see there's an upper and a lower die, and then I made all this stuff up to capture the die, and then I also had another length of it down here, and I cut that section up to what you see, and they go in pieces from 1 inch, 2 inch, 4, I think it's 8 and 10, and with that you have every 1 inch dimension that there is in between. So if you need to make a square box, say, you know, if you want to make a square box, you could bend this side up and then bend this side up the way it's set up now. But to do these two sides, when you go to rotate it and then make the next bends, well, you would run into there and you would run into there. So what you do is you need to fit the piece that's in between there. So say that's 4 inches wide, you would take a 4 inch die, put it in there. You'd actually put it in the top, and then the sides will be able to allow it to fold up, and you can make a square box. That's the whole idea of those pieces. So it works great. I like it. Again, the only thing that is an issue is if you're making a lot of something, it's a pain in the ass to be pumping the handle back and forth. So we're going to see how well that setup will fit over there. So I think what we're going to do is take the cylinder out of here. We'll set it on the bench next to that one. We'll do a physical comparison. We'll see kind of how close it is and see if we need to do any modifications to this to make it work. You notice that this already has springs and a plate build up, and they have one on there. Possibly that can kind of come off. So let me get this thing out of here, and we'll put them next to each other on the bench. Just looking at this, trying to figure out what's the best way to go and get that cylinder out of there. And I decided, you know, that plate all stays on the T. I figured we'll try throwing a pair of clamps on it, pumped it all the way down. Let's see what we get. See if that'll come out a little. I think so. Let's try that anyway. See what's leaking. She used to leave the plug right out of it and it just squirt a bunch of oil in it every once in a while. Let's go see what that looks like compared to that. Alright, let's go see what this thing does. I changed the fitting on the end of it. It had this big fat sucker on there like that. And this is what I'm running. Let's see what we get. Not terribly loud. I don't know if it's got a lock on the handle. I don't know if I like that idea. I might get a little... You're trying to stop it, you can't shut it off. Get this assembly off of it now. To be honest, I'll do the smashing of the fingers. See if we can get this top off of here. We're not even need tools. Woohoo! Alright. That one's making a break for it. Let's see if that'll fit in the hole. Slippery side. I should probably crank that up into position. We'll let it crank itself up into position. How's that? Let's go with... try to figure what's probably the best way to... like that. We'll call that the front of it. Hopefully that will fit in there. Watch your toes. Stuck! There. There we go. I think it'll work. How nice is that? That's what I was afraid of, that stupid thing locked on me. Looks okay. I think what I want to do is make a maybe a permanent knob up for this too, so we're not sticking the handle on there. Okay, let's cut this stupid thing off of here. Okay. I wonder if you can just kind of mount that maybe somewhere inside. What will be out of harm's way. There we just hang it. Because you figure, it may be good is make a foot control out of it. So you can have two hands on there when you're trying to move metal around. We'll think about that. We'll contemplate. So I grabbed a bunch of scrap metal. I figure we'll go play a little bit. Let's say that. That's probably like 18 gauge. It feels like 14 gauge. This is stainless. Feels like 14 gauge. This is some wire mesh. I don't know what the diameter is. This is 1/8 inch aluminum or 11 gauge, and then some 1/8 inch steel. So let's go play a little bit, and we'll see how each one kind of responds to getting squished. Just throw that one in. Shut the valve. No, we're good. One. Try not to waste my metal. Now they're working a little harder on that one. This is the one I would figure would probably have the hardest time with, is going to be this stainless. Let's see. Yeah, no problem. Let's see what it does with the screen. I want to try to find a good area that doesn't have the ends kicking up, because I don't want to damage the die. This stuff's pretty tough too. It's not like wimpy screen. Was the valve off? Yeah, the valve's not closed. Nice. And we got 1/8 inch aluminum. Let's go. And we'll go long ways. Let's go long ways. Had work cut out for it on that one, didn't it? It's looking. It did pretty good. Again, most of this is just going to be for making body panels anyway, which is more than likely going to be like 18 gauge. Some frame patches. I'll probably go up to about 1/8 inch, but it definitely suits for what we need. I forgot one, the one that landed on the floor, the steel. See how 1/8 inch steel does. Valve's not closed. All right. So I think now we need to go make a little handle up for that dump valve on the cylinder. So we came to the little garage door just to see if we could find ourselves something funky for a nice little handle for that thing. I gotta take it along. I gotta use a socket if I have to, I guess. Just whittle out the center. I thought I'd like something that's a little bit more ornate. Brass doorknob. Oh, what a doorknob. The inside of that looks like it might be close. Ooh, that one's cool. I like that. The cold knob. I don't know if there's clearance around it to make it though. That would be good. Let's go grab some alternatives while we're here though. Those. Maybe that. Is that supposed to be a pheasant? else while we're here? More doorknobs right there. No one needs that little Honda generator. Put that in my pocket. She'll love shopping for free. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll go grab our little prizes and see what we can fit. Yeah, let's go with our first choice. I'm thinking, got plenty of room around it. I'm thinking that gotta be awesome. Be easy to grab too. So, I think what we just got to do is just kind of grind a slot right in the middle of that so that it'll slip over the pin. Let's get to grinding. So my thought is, why don't we just take the pin right out of it instead of cutting a slot in it? And I already had a little set hole inside there, so I wonder if we can just kind of go do that. And we'll fondle it until we find the hole. I wonder if it's going in far enough. Let's go for the side with no paint. Yes, no, maybe so. I think it was made for it. I like that. It's easy to grab too. Awesome. So I figured we'd try making a little box, and I took a piece of metal. I think it's 16 by 6. I'm going to knock an inch out of each corner of it, and that's what we're going to fold up in the press brake. I figure we'll take it on the saw. We'll notch the corners out. Wonder what I was looking at. I'm like, that line's not straight. So this corner might be a little wacky. I tried to compensate for it with the saw. Let's see what happens. What I like to do when you're up under the dies, you're trying to find out what the center of the line is that you're punching on, and it's kind of iffy when you're looking at a black line. It's kind of dark under there. So I like to take a punch and just put dents in it on the lines. And that allows you a little bit of daylight when you get close to see those marks underneath there. It'll show up much better. See how well this works. Of course, it's up all the way now. So now I can see those little dots real clear. And we can do these two bends first. Right about there. Now I'm going to change out this top die to one that will fit. There's the problem right there, as you can see. You know, you can't. How are you going to bend that up? But if you put a little section of die inside there, it'll slip right in. You can still do the same thing 2 more times. So I loosened up all these bolts on top. That's what pinches and holds this. And we should be able to lift it back up now. It should stay. Should. We should be able to slide that out of there now. We'll put the 4-inch one back in. Wait for that compressor to shut off. Alright, let's get that last 2 bends done. Actually, I want to run that home first, just to seat the die all the way up. There we go. So again, I'm just using those 2 dots. A little more. That's it. That's how you make a nice little square box, and that's just the beginning of it. There's a whole bunch of different, avenues and steps and everything that you can kind of go do with the different compromises of it. You actually can have a split bottom die too if you're bending stuff the opposite direction. But for the most part, this is kind of the general of what you do. And I know someone's going to ask you, like, well, you can go every 1-inch dimension. So like say. So that'd be 5 inches wide. I go to get you put the 6-inch die in, and this makes it 7, or with the 2 makes it 3. You're like, well, what if it's like 4.5 inches or whatnot? You can take, or let's say 6.5 inches. You could take the 4 and then a 2. And what you do is you leave little air spaces kind of in between it, like that, and you could bend it up. And then what you do is you just kind of slide it from one direction to the other and just repinch the mold, and you could fudge that little 1/2-inch bridge that's in between there. That's how they're done pretty much on all press brakes. But that's it. Now we got a nice little, I don't know, key holder. But that's the idea. So guys, if you enjoy watching this kind of stuff, if you would subscribe to my channel. I like doing this stuff too, and I figured I'd share it with you. So again, thanks everybody for watching, comment, subscribing, and take care.